Okay. Anyway, Jim Jordan.
I'll stop it if I need to stop it in a moment, maybe to ask a question, but I would gladly listen to the whole thing.
Here we go. All right. It's a no agenda special.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Fauci, do protests increase the spread of the virus?
Do protests increase the spread of the virus?
Repeat the question while he's thinking of the answer, because, oh boy, he knows he's getting screwed here.
I think I can make a general statement.
Well, 500,000 protesters on June 6th alone. Yeah. I'm just asking that number of people, does it increase the spread of the virus?
Crowding together, particularly when you're not wearing a mask, contributes to the...
He's so nervous, he says masked instead of mask. Jim's Gordon. He's got him on the edge of his ropes. Got him on the ropes already.
1 million protesters on June 6th alone. I'm just asking that number of people. Does it increase the spread of the virus?
Crowding together, particularly when you're not wearing a mask, contributes to the spread of the virus.
Should we limit the protesting?
I'm not sure what you mean. How do we say limit the protesting?
Should government limit the protesting?
I don't think that's relevant to...
Well, you just said if it increases the spread of the virus, I'm just asking, should we limit it?
Well, I'm not in a position to determine what the government can do in a forceful way.
Well, you make all kinds of recommendations. You make comments on dating, on baseball, and everything you can imagine. I'm just asking, you just said that protests increase the spread. I'm just asking you, should we try to limit the protests?
No, I think I would leave that to people who have more of a position to do that. I can tell you...
Government stopping people from going to church, Dr. Fauci?
Yeah.
Last week in the Calvary Chapel case, 5 liberals on the Supreme Court said it was okay for Nevada to limit church services. Justice Gorsuch said it best. He said there's no world in which the Constitution permits Nevada to favor Caesar's Palace over Calvary Chapel. I'm just asking, is there a world where the Constitution says you can favor one First Amendment liberty, protesting, over another, practicing your faith?
I'm not favoring anybody over anybody. I'm just making a statement that's a broad statement that avoid crowd.
What should he have done in this case? Because clearly he's been very, very adamant about churches, about bars, about restaurants. He's been adamant about everything because he obviously is not getting out of this.
He screwed himself by not beginning correctly. He should have started off with, I'm very concerned about this, probably as much as I'm concerned about anything else. And that neutralizes everything you just mentioned. So he's just admitting that it's a problem. Right. But that would throw Jordan off because now it's just, I just said that I'm very concerned about it.
Exactly. Now he's just down on the mat and Jordan's
he screwed up,
pummeling him.
Of any type, no matter where you are, because that leads to the acquisition and transmission. And I don't judge one crowd versus another crowd. When you're in a crowd, particularly if you're not wearing a mask, that induces the spread.
It's a simple question, Doctor. Should we limit the protest? Government is obviously limiting people going to church. And look, there's been no violence that I can see at church. I haven't seen people during a church service go out and harm police officers or burn buildings. But we know that, for 63 days, 9
Now, pay close attention to Fauci because he's just going to start sputtering and he's getting annoyed and he starts saying that it doesn't go well.
It's been happening in Portland.
Right. Yeah.
Well, one night in Chicago, 49 officers were injured. But no limit to protests. But boy, you can't go to church on Sunday.
What was the? I don't know how many times I can answer that. I'm not going to opine on limiting anything. I'm just going to tell you.
Opine.
You opined on a lot of things, Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, but I've never.
This is something that directly impacts the spread of the virus, and I'm asking your position on the protest.
Yeah, I'm not going to opine on limiting anything. I'm telling you what it is, the danger, and you can make your own conclusion about that.
Opine. The only person who used opine to excess was Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly would use the word opine constantly. At the end of his show, every show, he would say, if you wish to opine, send me a letter at BillO'Reilly.com. That's not the same as Bill O'Reilly at Fox News and blah, blah, blah. But opine, he would use. So I'm now guessing that Fauci used to be an O'Reilly watcher.
Oh, my. Yeah, it is a word. It's like, who would use opine? I've never heard him use it either. Interesting. All right.
Yeah, I'm not going to opine on limiting anything. I'm telling you what it is, the danger, and you can make your own conclusion about that. You should stay away from crowds, no matter where the crowds are.
Government has stopped people from going to work. In fact,
you know what, if he says, hey, you're such a ditto head, then we'll know for sure Fauci's a listener.
Just in New Jersey 4 days ago, Ian Smith, Frank Trombetta were arrested for trying to operate their business, their gym. They were arrested. But my bet is if these two individuals who own this gym were outside just in front of their gym, and all the people who were working out in their gym were outside protesting, they'd been just fine. But because they were in the gym working out, actually running their business, they got arrested. You think that's okay?
You know, I'm not going to opine on who gets arrested and who does
Again,
not.
the opine.
I mean, you get where I'm going. I'm telling you.
All right, so now he's trying to play the inside baseball card. Now he's like, hey, do you get where I'm going? Stop this, mofo. You're badgering me. Stop it.
You know, I'm not going to opine on who gets arrested.
Hold on a second. That's another mistake. That's exactly what he should have said. What you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Can you stop badgering me about this? I don't like the idea of these big crowds. That's all I have to say.
I think,
and make him get off track,
because he's already off. He's off the rails. He's frozen. He has nowhere to go. He can't think straight.
That's the problem. That's the problem with, and you're in these situations unless you're prepared. That's why they have these, these specialists that can, do a fake version of this, so you can be given the harshest questions, and they teach you how to give the right answers.
Yeah, how to do it.
But apparently, he never went to that. He didn't think he needed it. Well, he did.
Bet is if these two individuals who own this gym were outside just in front of their gym, and all the people who were working out in their gym were outside protesting, they'd been just fine. But because they were in the gym working out, actually running their business, they got arrested. You think that's okay?
You know, I'm not going to opine on who gets arrested and who does not. I mean, you get where I'm going. I'm telling you, as a public health official, I say crowds.
Do you see the inconsistency, though, Dr. Fauci?
There's no inconsistency, Congressman.
There's no inconsistency. So you're allowed to protest, millions of people on one day in crowds yelling, screaming, but you try to run your business, you get arrested? And if you stood right outside of that same business and protested, you wouldn't get arrested? You don't see an inconsistency there?
I don't understand what you're asking me as a public health official to opine on who should get arrested or not. That's not my position. You could ask it as much as you want.
You've advocated for certain businesses. You've advocated for certain businesses to be shut down. I'm just asking you on your position on the protest. I haven't seen one. We've heard a lot about hair salons. I haven't seen one hairstylist who, between haircuts, goes out and attacks police or sets something on fire. But we've seen all kinds of that stuff during protests, and we know the protests actually increase the spread of the virus. You've said that.
I said crowds. I didn't say specifically. I didn't say protests do anything.
So the protests don't increase the spread of the virus?
I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth.
No, I just want an answer to the question. Do the protests increase the spread of the virus?
I don't have any scientific evidence that anything. I can tell you that crowds are known.
Whoa. I hadn't heard that the first time. Because I have no scientific evidence? What?
So the protests don't increase the spread of the virus?
I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth.
No, I just want an answer to the question. Do the protests increase the spread of the virus?
I don't have any scientific evidence that anything. I can tell you that crowds are known, particularly when you don't have a mask, to increase the acquisition and transmission. No matter what.
So you don't have a position on whether the protests increase the spread of the virus or don't increase the spread of the virus?
I'm saying that crowds, wherever the crowds are, can give you an increased probability that there's going to be acquisition and transmission.
But do you understand Americans' concern? Protesting, particularly according to the Democrats, is just fine, but you can't go to work, you can't go to school, you can't go to church. There's limits placed on all three of those fundamental activities, First Amendment activities, but protesting is just fine.
And there's obvious reasons why you didn't see this anywhere on the mainstream. Not a single, maybe on Fox, maybe.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe.
Fauci. There's a lot of good stuff in these hearings that we plan to show that never gets anywhere.
I harbor bad feelings towards Fauci. There's a lot of people I know, and one or two friends who died of these horrible treatments that he was. I'm not going to say he's responsible for killing people, but this guy, they delivered nothing. How many years now we've been waiting for something? Oh, we have PrEP. Okay. Nah, the guy's no good. And the fact that he's no good. The fact we put so much trust in him is just irksome to me.
Well, he's definitely got the Which irks him to Trump, apparently, after listening to him moan and groan about it.